Rommel vs. Montgomery's epic battle for North Africa. You didn't know happened in World War II. Soldiers uncovered the untold stories of one of World War II's most captivating and significant battles. As we delve into the showdown between two legendary generals, the Desert Fox Rommel and the methodical Montgomery, clashed in a series of epic battles for control of North Africa. From the initial surprise attack at the Battle of Ghazala to the divisive victory of El Alamein, watch this video to the very end to unveil the tactics and strategies behind these military masterminds as they fought for the fate of the war.
I said that together, you and I, we would hit Rommel and his army for 6, right out of North Africa. Is that all right? Going too fast for you?
Welcome to History Flicks, where we explore the depths of World War II and uncover the untold stories of the epic battles and the brave soldiers who fought them. Today, we're delving into one of the most captivating and significant battles of the war. Rommel vs. Montgomery's epic battle for North Africa you didn't know happened in World War II. So without waiting any longer, let's get started. Did you know the infamous battle for North Africa was a turning point in World War II? And more surprisingly, it is still a hidden gem in the annals of history? To begin with, the Germans, under the command of the legendary Erwin Rommel, had established a powerful foothold in the region and were looming over the crucial Suez Canal like a menacing shadow. But the British, led by the determined and calculating Bernard Montgomery, were not going to back down. They were determined to push the Germans out and claim the region as their own. This battle was a true test of strength and tactics, with both sides putting all they had on the line in order to come out victorious. Rommel, also known as the Desert Fox, was a master of mobile warfare and relied heavily on surprise attacks and quick strikes to catch his enemies off guard. He was known for his boldness and willingness to take risks, which often paid off. On the other hand, Montgomery was a more calculated commander, who preferred to plan his attacks carefully and strike with overwhelming force. He was renowned for his meticulous planning and his ability to outmaneuver his opponents. Do you want to see how this played out in the epic battles between these two? Then keep watching as we reveal all in the next couple of minutes. The first major engagement between the two came in the summer of 1942 at the Battle of Ghazala. Rommel had been building up his forces in the region and was ready to launch a surprise attack on the British, catching them off guard and pushing them back. Despite the initial success, Montgomery was able to regroup and counterattack, ultimately pushing the Germans back and winning a decisive victory. The Battle of Ghazala was a turning point in the North African campaign, as it marked the first time that Rommel's tactics of fast-moving armored units and surprise attacks failed. It also highlighted the effectiveness of Montgomery's methodical and well-coordinated attacks. This battle also marked the first time that Rommel was forced to retreat, which would become a recurring theme throughout the battle for North Africa. The next major engagement was the Battle of El Alamein. This time, it was Montgomery who launched the attack, using a combination of artillery and tanks to break through the German lines. Rommel, despite his best efforts, was unable to stop the British advance and was forced to retreat. The battle was fought for several months and ended with the British pushing the Germans out of Egypt and securing the region for the Allies. The Battle of El Alamein was a turning point in the war. It marked the first major victory for the Allies in the region and dealt a significant blow to the Germans. It also solidified Montgomery's reputation as a skilled and successful commander. Rommel, despite his best efforts, was unable to defeat the British and was forced to retreat back to Europe. But the battle between Rommel and Montgomery was far from over. Want to know what was coming next? Keep watching this video after you've hit that like button with your artillery fire, and subscribe to History Flicks for more such videos. Now back to the battle. In early 1943, Rommel returned to North Africa with a new army, determined to push the British back. The two clashed again in the Battle of Mareth, where Montgomery was able to hold off the German attack and maintain his position. The battle ended with a stalemate, with neither side gaining a significant advantage. In the scorching deserts of North Africa, the two legendary generals, Erwin Rommel and Bernard Montgomery, stood ready at the helms of their armies. Rommel, the Desert Fox, wielded an arsenal of swift and deadly tanks like the Panzer III and IV, striking with speed and agility, while Montgomery, the methodical commander, led his armored beasts of durability and resilience, such as the Crusader and Valentine tanks. Rommel relied heavily on surprise attacks and quick strikes to catch his enemies off guard. He was known for his boldness and willingness to take risks, which often paid off. But when it came to the Battle of Ghazala, his strategy failed as Montgomery was able to regroup and counterattack, ultimately pushing the Germans back and winning a decisive victory. On the other hand, Montgomery preferred to plan his attacks carefully and strike with overwhelming force. He was renowned for his meticulous planning and his ability to outmaneuver his opponents. He was able to push the Germans out of Egypt, securing the region for the Allies during the Battle of El Alamein, which marked the first major victory for the Allies in the region and dealt a significant blow to the Germans.
And we are beating the Germans and coming towards the final climax of the war. I'll tell you why it is.
As the battle for North Africa raged on, both Rommel and Montgomery had access to other weapons and equipment, such as trucks, jeeps, and motorcycles, which were used to transport troops and supplies. They also had access to communication equipment, such as radios and telephones, which were essential for coordinating and communicating with their troops during battle. If you think these war machines would give up now, think again. Keep watching for the final battle between the Desert Fox Rommel and the tactical mastermind Montgomery. The final battle between Rommel and Montgomery took place in the summer of 1943 at the Battle of Wadi Akarith. Despite his best efforts, Rommel was unable to break through the British defenses and was forced to retreat once again. This battle marked the end of Rommel's involvement in the North African campaign, as he was recalled to Europe. The battle for North Africa was a grueling and brutal campaign, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The conditions were harsh, with extreme heat and little water, and the soldiers had to endure long periods of time in the desert. However, the British, under Montgomery's command, were able to hold their ground and ultimately emerge victorious. This was not only a victory for the Allies, but also a testament to Montgomery's tactical genius and leadership abilities.
One of the most colourful events of the day, the presentation of the token Sword of Honour by the Lord Mayor to the gallant hero of Arame.
But let's not forget the contributions of Rommel, who was also a formidable opponent. He was a master of mobile warfare, and his tactics of surprise attacks and quick strikes was often able to catch the British off guard. He was a true warrior, who, despite the odds against him, fought with all his might to defend his country. The battle for North Africa was not just a battle between Rommel and Montgomery, it was also a battle between two different ideologies and ways of fighting. It was a battle between the fast-moving and flexible tactics of Rommel and the methodical and well-coordinated attacks of Montgomery. And in the end, it was Montgomery's tactics that emerged victorious. As we look back at the battle for North Africa, we pay tribute to the brave soldiers who fought and sacrificed their lives for their countries. We honor the memory of Rommel and Montgomery, two generals who will forever be remembered as legends of World War II. But hey, before we wrap up this video, do you really think both are worthy of our praises, or have you picked a favorite? Let us know what you think about it in the comments section below. And stay tuned for more untold stories of World War II on your favorite channel, History Flicks.